can you take over?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
A very good morning to all. I, Ms. Shraddha Bhingardive, on behalf of JSPM's Rajashri Shah College of Engineering, Department of Electronics and Telecommunication, take this opportunity and extend my warm welcome for Day 7 AICTE-sponsored 2-week online FDP on Artificial Intelligence and its applications in biomedical engineering. We are fortunate to have with us today Dr. Manish Kokre, sir. Sir has received his diploma in Industrial Electronics Engineering from Board of Technical Examination, Maharashtra, and BE and ME degrees in Electronics from Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Institute of Engineering and Technology, Nanded. Sir has his PhD from Department of Electronics and Electrical Engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Also, he has completed his postdoctoral research work in 2012 from University of California, USA. Sir is currently holding a position of Professor and Dean, Finance Resource Mobilization and Quality Assurance, Coordinator of Center of Excellence in Signal and Image Processing, and Coordinator of RUSA. Sir has shouldered responsibility of Head of Department in ENTC Engineering and Dean Research and Development of the Institute in 2016 to 18. Sir has published around 100 plus papers in international and national journals and conferences. His research work got citation of 2112, H index 20 and I index 34. Sir has received the prestigious Career Award for Young Teachers for year 2005 from AICTE New Delhi. The award carries a research grant of Rs 10.5 lakhs spread over 3 years. Sir has also received Boy Scout Fellowship of US $38,000 from Government of India to carry out postdoctoral research work and University of California, USA in 2012. Sir has been honored with Best Teacher Award by Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded in 2013. Recently, Sir has also been honored with AICTE Vishveshwarya Best Teacher Award in 2020, a national award given by AICTE New Delhi for the outstanding faculty member of technical institutes in India. Under his supervision, 12 research scholars have completed PhD in electronics engineering, and presently 4 research scholars are working under him. He is a life member of System Society of India, ISTE, IETE, member of IEEE, Signal Processing Society, and member of IEEE Computer Society. Sir has also been selected as a reviewer of 20 international journals like IEEE Transactions on Image Processing, on System and Cybernetics Part B, Pattern Recognition Letter, International Journal of Information and Mathematics, International Journal on Image Vision and Computing. Sir has visited Cambridge University, UK to present his research paper in IEEE International Conference on Pattern Recognition, where he got Travel Bursary Award of $500 for his research paper. Sir has visited a number of universities for collaborative research work, like University of Barcelona, Spain, University of California, Santa Barbara, USA, University of Iowa, University of San Diego, USA, and University of Belgrade, USA. For his research collaboration, he has visited National University of Singapore and UTP Malaysia. His research interests include wavelets, image processing, pattern recognition, computer vision, and content-based image retrieval. For the benefit of faculty members and research scholars in engineering, he has conducted more than 250 professional workshops and short-term training programs in various engineering colleges in India. Based on his significant research contribution, recently Sir has chosen as a candidate whose biography is included in 2007 edition of Who's Who in the World, which is published in 2006. So we are really fortunate to listen to you today. And again, on behalf of JSPM's Rajashri Shah College of Engineering, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, thank you for inviting me to deliver a talk. So we'll start immediately. Just let me start my presentation. 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, good morning to all. And in our first session, we'll be talking about machine learning applications and or AI applications and research challenges. And in second part, I'll be talking about the case study of diabetic retinopathy, okay, actually on which we are doing the work, research work at our Center of Excellence in Signal Processing. So actually the theme of your STTP is artificial intelligence and this one. Okay, its application to biomedical side and so on. You know that this one, artificial intelligence, see, we are making the machine, okay, artificially intelligent, the way human being is intelligent and so on. Okay. We know that, okay, as a human being, we become intelligent through learning. Okay. And learning happens in a number of ways. Maybe okay, you have a formal teaching where you can learn. Okay, you can learn through experience. Okay, you can learn through observations. Okay, and we can learn through association and so on. So there are several ways for learning and so on. So as a human being, we learn, or basically we get the information for learning from 5 sensory organs. So those 5 sensory organs are really important for learning the things. Okay. So fortunately, many of us are having all those 5 sensory organs working very well. But those who suffer with any of basically deficiency of any organs and so on, definitely they realize that what is the value of all those organs. Okay. So you know that we, as a human being, we get the information from our eyes, we get the information from our ear, then we get the information from our nose, then we get the information from our tongue. Also, we get the information that is touch information from our skin. Okay, so these 5 okay organs are just like as the sensors of our body, and then these sensors sense the information, and then the whole information goes to our brain, and this brain processes it, interprets it, and then we make the best decision out of that one. Okay. So similarly, okay, let's basically see that this one, since we said that there are 5 sensory organs which are eyes will give you the visual information, okay, ear will give you the audio information, and your nose will give you the smell, whereas your tongue will give you the taste information and so on. So all those information is collected by all those organs, and then this is sent to the brain interprets it appropriately, analyze it, and then finally we take the best decision at that moment and so on. Okay. So for becoming a human intelligent, all those sensory organs play a very, very important role in our life. Okay. As I told you that even if, suppose for example, the blind person, if he can't see, definitely he will lose a lot of information, visual information, and so on. Now, before that, let me tell you that, okay, so as we are getting the information to become intelligent from all those 5 sensory organs, is it like that 20% information we get it from our eyes, 20% information we get it from our ears, 20% information we get it from our nose, and 20% from your tongue, and then 20% from your skin? Is it like that? Definitely not like that. Okay. What research says, Research says that out of 100% information, 78% information we get it from our eyes. Okay, that is nothing but the visual information, and this visual information may be in the form of images, in the form of video, and so on. And our brain, 80% of our brain basically is utilized for processing this visual information, okay, doing the visual analytics and make the appropriate decision or okay, to become an intelligent and so on. So image processing or video processing or visual analytics or visual information is very, very important for making the better decision or becoming the intelligent and so on. Then remaining 22% information we get from our eyes, okay, then your nose, and then your tongue, and then your skin, okay, and so on. So eyes are very, very important for a human being. In the same way, when you are making the machine intelligent like as a human intelligent, or you are making this machine like as artificial intelligence, so we need to supply the information in the form of video, in the form of audio, in the form of images, in the form of, okay, whatever is possible. So definitely under the umbrella of artificial intelligence, okay, there are important subjects like, for example, video processing is there, image processing is there, speech processing is there, biomedical signal processing is there, biomedical image processing is there, okay, or your searching algorithms are very, very important. Okay, so database management also is very, very important. So under the umbrella of artificial intelligence, there are several subjects, and out of that, this image and video processing is very, very important, because you know that information available in the image or information available in the video is very, very important for making the decision and so on. Okay, so now you know that to become when you like to make the human being intelligent, so you have to give the training to that person. Okay. Similarly, for making your machine artificially intelligent, you have to give the training to that machine. Okay, so machine will start learning the things from the training, and then once that machine learns, definitely the difficult problems which are there will be solved by the machines and so on. So here, in this talk, we will be just talking about the application of AI and what are the research opportunities and so on. So you know that artificial intelligence, is the as I told you that it is a combination of image processing, it is a combination of pattern recognition, it is a computer vision, it is a combination of signal processing, statistical signal processing, or machine learning, and then nowadays people are talking about deep learning and so on. So under the umbrella of all of AI, you have all those subjects you need to study, and then definitely those subjects are really useful for making the machine artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is any technique that enables computer to mimic the human intelligence, like the way human being becoming intelligent, the same way or more than that one in some of the cases. Your machine is more intelligent than the human being, or machine processes a very complex data and so on as compared to the human being, because human has a limitation. Like for example, if you take simple example that if we see the grayscale image, in the grayscale image, you know that there are 256 gray levels are there. Now, if I make the image, grayscale image such that, my first column is having only intensity 0, the second column is having intensity equal to 1, third column is having intensity equal to 2. So in that way, if I make the image like the last column will be having intensity equal to 255. Now, if I visualize this image, this image will look like from dark to white. Now, if I take any two consecutive points and if I ask myself or as a human being whether we will be able to tell which is the intensity of this pixel and what is the intensity of this pixel, Definitely not, because we have a limitation of our vision system, and that limitation is that we cannot, okay, distinguish all those 256 gray levels. Okay, as a human being, we can distinguish only 30 to 30, okay, 30 to 32 gray levels, or okay, band of gray levels, and so on. We cannot distinguish all those 256. But as compared, means suppose for example, if I basically if I okay take the this one first gray level as 0 and second gray level as a 32, then I'll be able to make the difference. And then third one will be like, for example, okay, means basically if I divide this one, the whole gray level by 32, okay, so whatever the band which I'll get, so that will be 16, means 16 of each. So if I okay display a 0 gray level, and then if I display a 17 gray level, so my vision system will be able to recognize the difference between these two. But if I display a 0 gray level and then 1 or 2 gray level, definitely our vision system okay interprets that as the same gray level and so on, because we have a limitation of our vision system, human vision system, and so on. So like that way, in total, we can recognize in the range of 0 to 255, we can recognize only 30 to 32 or 24 to 32 gray levels and so on. But as a machine, any question from your side? Okay, I think somebody has started his or her mic. Okay, I request all of you to mute and mute the mic. Whenever you have a doubt, you can unmute and you can ask a question.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
hello,
please.
sir.
Yeah.
Sorry to disturb you, sir, but your voice is breaking, sir. A bit.
Voice is not?
Voice is breaking, sir.
Oh, voice is breaking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, it means my camera is just in front of me, where mic is also there. Is it audible or no? Not.
Sir, it is audible, but we are getting messages from participants that the voice is breaking.
Okay. See, it should happen with everyone. It's not like that some people are getting voice broken and some people are getting clear. See, if some people are getting clear, means, okay, from my side, there is no problem of internet. Maybe there is a problem with their internet.
Yes, sir.
So that should happen. Okay, that is very common thing. But if everybody is getting the proper voice, then definitely there will be a internet problem with me. So let me know, okay, whether you people are getting.
Yes, sir. We can listen you clearly, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So I should continue. Okay. So ask them to check their internet and so on.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Where I pause. Yeah. So if we so within a 256 gray level, we as a human being, we can recognize only 30 to 32 or 24 to 32 gray levels and so on. But machine will recognize all those 256 gray levels. It's not like that, a human being. In the same way, you know that for color image, okay, there are three planes. One is R plane, second one is G plane, and third one is B plane. Now, and one pixel is represented with 24 bits. Okay. Now, means there are 2 raised to 24 color shades are there. That is 16 million color shades are there in a color image. Okay. Now, out of 16 million color shade, as a human being, we can recognize only 900 to 1000 color shades.